Sophie and welcome to CFC Fan TV. We are all together and it's going to be my favourite video this week. We're going to do player ratings because we had an amazing 4-1 win against Cardiff City yesterday. So here we go from start to finish. These are our player ratings. Let's start with Kepa.
Good place to start. I think. I mean, it's great save. It's been difficult to kind of rate him this season. Every time you ask me how he's played, I'm like, well, yeah,
he's all right.
He was all right, but you know, didn't have much to do. He's going to be a player that we've invested a hell of a lot of money in him. He's going to be a player that grows into this role. And look, I think the early signs are very promising. I feel like sometimes he could catch the ball a little bit more rather than parrying it out. But yeah, no, I think a 7 for this game easily. I mean, I've been impressed so far.
Rory, do you agree?
I agree. I'd say slightly higher. I'd give him an 8, Charlie. So we're going to have to come to a combined total of 7.5 because that save was brilliant. I mean, I haven't seen it on TV yet, but from my seat in the stadium, I thought it was a great save. So he gets a little bonus point for that. 8 out of 10.
Next up is Dave Cesar Azpilicueta.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of our most solid performers. I think he's a good choice as captain.
I think he's definitely settling into right back a lot more now.
Yeah, he is. I do wish sometimes we had a bit more impetus attacking on that side. We've got it in spades with Alonso on the other side, and I feel like some of his attacking isn't quite there. But you know, he's perfectly solid, isn't he? I'll give him a 7.
7? You agree?
Yeah, I think 7's about right. I don't think he had his best game today, actually. I thought that there were moments where I thought he could have contributed slightly more to the attack. He seemed to slow the pace down when people were making incisive runs.
Took one of the other players out.
Yeah, I mean, look, he had a good game. I just think there were little moments where I thought he could have done slightly more. I think Eden Hazard at one point made a few very incisive runs and he wasn't found. And for that, I think 7 makes it perfectly right.
OK, Cesar Azpilicueta gets a 7. Let's start with Alonso, your favourite player.
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk about Alonso because I thought he had another very solid game. I thought he did very well on the left-hand side. I thought that today, actually, more so than any other game so far this season, I thought his defensive work was excellent. I think he got his spot on. He didn't seem to be committing so far forward. I mean, he was involved in a beautiful move in the first half where he actually won the ball pretty much on our byline. Drifted forward, played a 1-2 with Eden Hazard, whipped it over, Giroud hit it over the bar. But I thought he had a very, very solid game today.
Do you think he's been told to play that way?
No, absolutely not. There's no way that you put the shekels on him. He's too good a player and you want him in full flow. I think that today he has to get at least an 8 out of 10. OK, Charles, do you agree? Or
very rare this, but I agree with Rory. He's been fantastic this season, even better than last. It's almost like he's made up his own position. He starts a left back, but he's not really a left back, is he? He's sort of marauds up and
striker.
Yeah, he marauds up and down that wing. But it's very, very effective because whenever we have the ball, he's always an option. I want to see more of that on the other side, but I think
let's just say he's a left side player.
I think he's a fantastic asset for this team.
OK, there we go. So 8 out of 10.
Absolutely, yeah.
8 out of 10 for Alonso. Next up, we're going to go to Rüdiger.
I think Rüdiger did very well today as well. I think look, it was a good performance overall, so this is going to be a pretty standard thing. I think that the thing that I'm going to flag, and forgive me for doing this, but we conceded a goal from a set piece. The ball was up in the air in our box, and therefore our keeper and our 2 centre-halves have to be culpable for that. For that reason alone, I think we have to give him a slightly less high score than I'd like. But overall, I think that both him and David Luiz did very well today, but that goal is a slight blot on the copybook, and I'm therefore going to go. Don't know. What do you reckon, Charlie?
I mean, he's definitely a fan favourite. Fans like him. A lot in the shed upper. They sing his name, which is quite rare.
Can you do the chant for us?
No, it's like Rüdiger. It's like, you know when you say Kalu?
Yeah.
It's a bit like that, but not like that.
Okay.
Yeah, similar.
You all understood that, yeah?
Yeah. Moving on.
I'll give him a 7. I think that if there is one minor complaint about the way we've been playing this season, and this is very minor, I do think sometimes we look a bit shaky at the back. The way we're playing it means we have a lot of risks, but I think Rüdiger is by far and away our best defender. I think he's really growing into kind of a leader in the defence. I think he made a couple of great tackles today, and yeah, I'd give him a 7.
OK, so 7, are you happy with that overall?
I'll go with that, I'll agree.
OK, there we go. OK, next up, and I have a feeling you're going to be a little more critical, is David Luiz, or am I wrong?
Your feelings are incorrect.
You just
do you know
give him
what?
so much praise.
I've had Olivier Giroud driving me mad through that whole game, texting me saying how bad David Luiz was, and I didn't see it. I didn't see it at all. I think that he perhaps shouldn't have committed the foul that led to their goal. that's according to Olivia, by the way. I haven't seen that on telly yet. It looks pretty innocuous from where I was sitting, but I'll see it tonight. But I thought that David Luiz marshalled the back line well. I think he's so valuable on the pitch. He's so vocal on the pitch. You know, he's the one who's marshalling everybody. He's the one who's making sure that the defence are going to push up as one. He's the one who's taking responsibility for that back line. And for that alone, I think that I'm going to give him a 7.5, slightly more than Rüdiger.
All right. Do you agree?
No, not quite that high. I'm going to go 6.5. I do think that sometimes his you see the old problems crop up with him again, like the concentration. I do think he should be starting in the team. Sarri said on Friday that for the first half of the season anyway, the defence will not change because it's so important that they keep playing with each other. They keep this kind of momentum going, and I think most of the things that David Luiz offers, we don't see as fans.
Okay, yeah.
I think he's a sort of quasi-captain, like off the pitch. He's got huge experience and he's a bit of a leader. Yes, mate.
Hello, person I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to go 6.5, are
yeah.
you?
Oh, yeah, I am.
Okay, then. I'm the judge here, and as Rory has decided not to take part in this video for the last 10 seconds, it's 6.5 for David Luiz. Okay, next then is N'Golo Kanté.
Oh, what a geezer! I'm going 9. I think it was fantastic.
Sophie goes 9 too.
I think.
I think we just do it. Just do it, Soph.
It's a 9. Okay, next up is Jorginho.
I don't think he had his best game. I do think Cardiff troubled us a little bit in the midfield. I'm going to go 6.5 for Jorginho. I'm not convinced it was his best game. I feel like what he offers, the quick passing all the time, wasn't quite there for me. But look, he is obviously a ridiculously talented player who will grow into that role and become a very good player for us.
Okay, great.
I agree with Charlie's scoreline. But only because it wasn't his best game. Yeah. I still think he had a very good game, and I actually still think he controlled the tempo of the entire match, not just the Chelsea side. I think he dictated the tempo of the entire game. So
final score?
Yeah, I'm going to give him 6.5, but I still think he had a great game.
So
makes sense, though. It does make sense.
All right, 6.5 for Jorginho.
Because I'm marking him on his own standards.
Right. Next up, we're all getting along very well in this video, by the way, is Kovačić. Went off. I hope his injury isn't too bad, if it was an injury.
No, again, I'm not sure he had his best game for Chelsea. I've been so impressed.
We didn't see any sparkle moments.
Yeah, I mean, when he came on against Arsenal his first game, wasn't it? He was mustard. He was so good. I'm going to give him a 6 for this game because I just thought he wasn't quite at the races. As you say, maybe he picked up a knock. I think he did pretty poorly with a very good chance he had in the first half, which should have been on target. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 6, and I actually think we actually played better when he came off.
Yeah, I thought Barley was good, actually. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, go on then.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough, actually. I think the chance that he missed was criminal, and he hasn't been up to his high standards, but he was injured, and I completely agree. Let's hope it's not a serious one.
All right, 6 out of 10. Okay, next up then is Pedro. Now, although he could have got a goal at some point, most fans from the interviews were very happy with his performance.
I'm going to give him another 9.
Another 9?
No, 9.
9?
Yeah, no, I'm going to give him a 9. I thought it was fantastic. I can't believe he didn't score. He had so many chances. Should have done better with a couple of them, but he works so hard for this team. Yeah, I mean, I think growing up, playing that system, playing that sort of Barcelona system works massively in his favour.
And I think he knows as well. Sarri obviously thinks very highly of him, and I think he's trying to prove that he can be in the first team.
Pedro's wicked. He's so good. He's so good at football, and the way that he uses his body. He's very unlucky not to score today, and you've got to acknowledge quite how good he is because.
Especially he never seems to get to him, doesn't it?
He's keeping Willian out the side, and Willian's playing very well at the moment, and Pedro's being picked ahead of him. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of Pedro, and he's only improving this year. Like every single game, he gets better and better. Yeah, unanimous 9.
9 out of 10. And next up, none other than Eden Hazard. Now, will we get our first 10 or no? I
was going to say, are we allowed to go big 10s?
I think we need to. I think a hat trick is a 10.
Yeah, 10 all day long then, isn't it?
10 all day long.
He's such a pleasure to watch. We're so lucky to have him on our team. And look, I don't care what anyone says. On his day, he's the best player in the Premier League by an absolute mile. Cardiff just couldn't deal with him. They kept rotating who was marking him because one player would kick him and then he might get booked, so they bring in another one to kick him. But he just rose above all of that. Just a couple of fantastic goals and a very well taken penalty. Happy days.
Yep. 10?
So, look, I don't think that it's fair that somebody with my limited vocabulary is going to try and do this brilliant man justice with words, because he was so good today. And I think that I would go as far as saying that within 3 years he will win a Ballon d'Or.
Okay, I agree. 10 out of 10. Okay, next up then, and finally for the first starting 11 is Giroud. Now, although he didn't get a goal, a lot of fans do like the fact that I thought he's a team player.
I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he was fantastic. I think we play so much better with Giroud up front than Morata. I think he works really well with Hazard. The way he holds up the ball, the way he challenges for every single aerial ball. He keeps both their centre-halves busy, which, you saw how well Hazard played today. Pedro, he creates that space.
So Charlie is thrilled with Giroud's performance. What about you, Raw?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think he's the best back-to-goal striker playing football at the moment. He did it for France so well, and he's done it for us again today. His goal tally is actually going to be insignificant because he opens the door for everyone else to score so many goals. So I think he's perfect, and he suits the system brilliantly, and he is now Chelsea's main striker.
So what did we say, 8 or 9 out of 10?
I said 8.
8?
I said 9, so 8.5.
8.5. Okay, and then we are going to do our substitutes last but not least. Barkley, Willian and Zappacosta. Let's start with Barkley.
I thought it was brilliant when he came on. 8. Certainly, I thought he gave the whole team a lift.
He was so good. He controlled the tempo so well. His passing was incisive. He was up for it. He was keen. And I'm really excited about him, actually. Under Sarri, this could be a very, very exciting acquisition. I think he deserves at least an 8. Yeah. Also, you've got to remember, he's stepping into Kovacic's shoes. Yeah. Not easy.
No, OK, so 8 out of 10 for Barkley. Then we're going to go to Zappacosta next.
Well, he didn't have much time.
I like him, though.
I did find his bit where he sort of turned into Messi, took the whole Cardiff team out of the equation and then did the worst shot ever. I found that quite funny. So for that, I'll give him a 7.
OK, great. 7 out of 10?
Yeah, Zappacosta was... 7. I mean, 7 sounds quite a bit generous to me.
No, I go with a 7. I like him.
Well, you're the boss, Sophie. If you say 7, Charlie says 7, who am I to argue?
OK, so it's a 7 out of 10 for Zappacosta. And last but not least is Willian. I personally would give him a 9 because he won the penalty and got the goal.
Yeah, look, it's hard to argue with that. I was going to go 8, but I think 9's fair enough. What a goal that was. Yeah, he deserves a 9 for that goal alone. It's probably one of the best goals scored this season, maybe?
Yeah, goals of the season, yeah. It was amazing.
Fantastic.
I think, I thought Willian was excellent. You've got to remember, he came on, he was only on the pitch for about 25 minutes. He won a penalty, scored a fantastic goal. How can you knock him? I mean, I think 9 might be a little bit generous because he only played the game for such a small amount of time, but certainly a high 8. 8.9.
No, it's a 9 out of 10. Jesus Christ. OK, those are our player ratings. I actually feel really dizzy now because I turned left to right so many times to speak to you both. Comment below, did we get the player ratings right? If not, then of course you can contradict what we say. But yeah, other than that, we will see you next time.